The life of Jesus and his disciples was busy. See Mark 3:20 through 21 and John 11:5 through 9. But as my friend John Mark Comer has pointed out, Jesus never came off hurried. Pastor Kevin DeYoung put it this way, quote, Jesus was busy, but never in a way that made him frantic, anxious, irritable, proud, envious, or distracted by lesser things, end quote. So, what's the difference between busyness and hurry? Busyness is having a lot of meetings on your calendar. Hurry is scheduling those meetings back to back, forcing you to sprint from one to the next without enough time to think. Busyness is having a lot of errands to run. Hurry is getting mad about choosing the wrong line at the grocery store because you have no margin for the 30 seconds you lost by choosing lane 3 instead of 4. Busyness is attending 3 Bible studies a week. Hurry is not having enough time and stillness to listen to God's voice in between those studies. How can we be busy without being hurried? We must get good at counting the cost of our time. Jesus provides an excellent case study of this in Mark 11. Verse 15 tells us that Jesus' plan all along was to overturn some tables and drive out the vendors who were turning the temple into a den of robbers. See Mark 11:17. So why not do this the night before? Why wait? Of course, we can't answer those questions definitively, but given Jesus' track record as a busy but unhurried guy, here's my guess. I think Jesus had counted the cost of his time. Look at Mark 11:11. Jesus went into the temple courts, looked around at everything, but since it was already late, decided not to cram any more activity into what had already been a busy day. You can almost hear him muttering to himself, "It can wait." Could Jesus have squeezed in a little table flipping before he retired for the night? Sure. But he chose not to. He had counted the cost and knew that adding anything else to his already busy day would have tipped the scales from busy to hurry. Jesus' example brings us to the 7th and final principle we need to redeem our time. Principle number 7, eliminate all hurry. To redeem our time in the model of our Redeemer, we must embrace productive busyness while ruthlessly eliminating hurry from our lives. How can we eliminate hurry today? Part of the answer is getting better at saying no to requests for our time. That's why I recorded a video sharing 6 questions to help you say no more often. You can find a link to that video in the text version of today's devotional right here in the YouVersion Bible app.
So Jesus came to Jerusalem and went into the temple. After looking around carefully at everything, he left because it was late in the afternoon. Then he returned to Bethany with the 12 disciples. Jesus curses the fig tree. The next morning, as they were leaving Bethany, Jesus was hungry. He noticed a fig tree in full leaf a little way off. So he went over to see if he could find any figs. But they were only leaves because it was too early in the season for fruit. Then Jesus said to the tree, "May no one ever eat your fruit again." And the disciples heard him say it. Jesus clears the temple. When they arrived back in Jerusalem, Jesus entered the temple and began to drive out the people buying and selling animals for sacrifices. He knocked over the tables of the money changers and the chairs of those selling doves. One time Jesus entered a house, and the crowds began to gather again. Soon he and his disciples couldn't even find time to eat. When his family heard what was happening, they tried to take him away. "He's out of his mind," they said. So although Jesus loved Martha, Mary, and Lazarus, he stayed where he was for the next 2 days. Finally, he said to his disciples, "Let's go back to Judea." But his disciples objected. "Rabbi," they said, "only a few days ago the people in Judea were trying to stone you. Are you going there again?" Jesus replied, "There are 12 hours of daylight every day. During the day, people can walk safely. They can see because they have the light of this world.